Did you know that in recognition of their 1972 Stanley Cup championship, the Boston Bruins are incorrectly called the Bequistquin Bruins on the Stanley Cup? There it is. This is Afterburner. After the Calgary Flames lose 4-1 to the Bequistquin Bruins at the TD Garden in Boston. And this is how we're going to start this show because, Pike, there are 36 more of these. Is that the right number? I forget.
This is game 44.
So there are 38 more.
38
oh,
more.
Lord, it's even worse than I thought.
Plus, as you well know, 28 in the playoffs. So
Afterburner.
And then we have to do the parade show, and then we have to do the post-parade show where we try to keep Brett from getting arrested. So it's gonna be a busy few months. Between now and July, we're gonna have all kinds of fun.
Mike Gould, Ryan Pike with you on Afterburner on this Thursday, January the 8th. And I've gotten Pike into a fit of hysterics. I didn't realize that was going to be that funny, but Jack, I know, is already losing his marbles from his remote location. We sent that to Jack before the show just to see if he could figure out exactly what I was trying to get at there with that screenshot. Jack, did you successfully figure it out?
I figured it took me a while.
Took you a while.
Looking through all the names. I was like, what's going on?
What's going on here?
I saw it. Good one, Mike.
True story. If you see the Stanley Cup, not the replica Stanley Cup that they have the Hockey Hall of Fame.
There are 3 Stanley Cups.
There's 3 of them.
There is one. The real one has typos. The other ones do not.
Yeah.
They have fixed the typos. So one of my favorite ways to tell if it is the real Stanley Cup or not, you look for one of I think the first Oilers Stanley Cup win because
Peter Pocklington put his dad on it.
Yeah, Basil Pocklington.
Pocklington.
And the NHL was like, he had nothing to do with the team. Take him off. And so they just stamped out his name with X.
They X'd it out. Yeah.
That's how you can tell if it's the real Stanley Cup or not. The other 2 are real enough, but you need to have the ones with the original typos.
Yeah, that's right. The Bequistquin Bruins. That's all I got for tonight. The Calgary Flames lose 4-1 to the Boston Bruins. They've lost 4 straight games, including back-to-back on the road. They have 3 more to go on this road trip. The Calgary Flames are 3rd last in the National Hockey League. And one of the teams below them, Ryan Pike, is winning as of this recording. The Winnipeg Jets leading the Edmonton Oilers by a 3-1 score currently. So things are happening around the National Hockey League, and we'll get into it. Afterburner is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. You just use that code NATION. That is NATION for you spelling nerds out there. Bet365. And in case you want to type out some words in our super chat, you can feel free because the proceeds go to the Youth Centers of Calgary. It is, in fact, a place where kids are welcomed and accepted as they are, a place where they can break from the chronic stress that is trying to speak on camera, and where they can flourish through connections and fun. January is a tough month for public speaking. It's also a tough month for some of the kids out there. So get your super chats in, and we'll read them benefits of the Youth Centers of Calgary. Pike, I think it's time for you to speak a little bit because my tongue clearly needs a bit of a reset. So I'll be working on that over here.
Oh, no, you're doing great.
Thank you. What were your initial impressions of tonight's 4-1 loss for the Calgary Flames to the Bequistquin Bruins?
I mean, they're at a point in their season where, you can tell they're feeling it a bit. It was their third game in 3 days with travel. I thought that they looked slow against Montreal. Montreal is a fast team, and they can make even pretty fast teams look slow. I mentioned this on this fine program with Cammie yesterday. The Flames are a team that when they play their game, they drag the other team into the muck, slow things down, and play a very deliberate pace. And so, it is not a commentary on their level of talent. They have some talented players. They have many players that have scored many goals in the league. They'll score many goals in the league in the future. But their success or failure in hockey games are incumbent on them basically taking over the game and saying, all right, Bequistquin, you are going to play the type of game that we decide you're going to play. And we saw them do that on their homestand New Year's Eve against Philadelphia. I thought they did a very nice job of turning that kind of into a mucker, a sloppy game, a game where you'd go, man, Philadelphia looked like they could not going to pass in that game. And that is the type of game the Flames need to play. They need to have, good positioning and just good execution to drag teams down into the mud and make it slow. They did not do that in Montreal. They did not do that in Boston. And there's been a few situations where, much like on Wednesday night, you look at the replays of the goals and you go, I don't know what they were all trying to do in zone when their defense, because it seemed like a lot of guys all went in one direction and the puck carrier went the other direction, or they followed the puck and then the guy passed it and they're like, oh, there's nobody over there. Oh, dang. Oh, we're losing now.
Yeah.
And that happened a few times in both games. And, it's kind of interesting to me that we had back-to-back games on the road with identical scores, 4-1 losses to original 6 teams. And they looked stylistically and in terms of what they did wrong, very, very similar.
They looked very similar. The Flames are a horrible road team this season. They are 6-15-2 on the road through their first, whatever number of games that is, 23 games away from the Scotiabank Saddledome, compared to 12-7-2 on home ice. And of course, they've got 3 more coming up next away from the Scotiabank Saddledome. We'll get into how things happened at the TD Garden in Boston tonight. The first goal scored by Sean Corrali, who only has 4 goals this season. Certainly wasn't as bad as the goal that he gave up to open yesterday's game.
Yeah, and you see Jeannot comes in with some speed. 2 or 3 guys go over to Jeannot, go, all right, we're going to get this guy. And then Corrali just has all kinds of space once that puck gets on his stick. And, by the time Hanley kind of closes the gap a little bit, the puck's already off his stick. So, as will be a theme, mistakes were made.
Elias Lindholm was the next one on the board. This was a beautiful passing play by the Boston Bruins. David Pasternak's got
his passing sequence, but again, you sort of, here, Kuznetsov gets caught up a bit. He ends up chasing. Guys have to sort of make adjustments. Like you see Weegar there cutting over because his partner is sort of caught behind. So, Weegar gets pulled out of position because Kuznetsov gets blown past, and then, the old-fashioned Edmonton Oilers, this guy scored. Shockingly, the guy, Elias Lindholm, that no one was covering, got a clean look at a one-timer. And as we saw when he was wearing a red sweater, if you leave him if you leave him checked, he still has a good shot. If you leave him completely unchecked, you're really, really hoping that he misses the net.
Well, yeah, Elias Lindholm wide open there, and he gets his 8th of the season. The Calgary Flames lost this game. The toughest part of it, though, may have come sort of been instigated by what happened at the end of period number 1, where a big hit by Mark Kastelik on Michael Backlund
almost put him into the bench.
Yeah, kind of. Backlund didn't really retaliate to it much. It was Blake Coleman who ended up getting into the fray, and he ended up sort of getting tangled up with Mason Lohrei after this. Coleman kind of got wrestled down to the ice. He did play a little bit in the second period, and at the start of period number 3, he ended up leaving this game, Pike. And for all we have heard about Blake Coleman over the last few weeks as a possible trade piece for the Calgary Flames, a player who they have not traded yet, not great to see number 20 exit this game prematurely.
Yeah, and I know everyone on social media, we see you, we hear you. When you see Blake Coleman, oh, where's Blake Coleman? He's not on the ice.
Uh-oh.
Everyone goes, oh my God, did they make a trade?
We looked.
Given the circumstances, you're not going to have a guy leave, then come back, then leave again if there's a pending transaction. If you think there's something close, you wouldn't even play. So I would argue that it is much, much, much more likely a he's banged up situation than a he's they're playing 9-dimensional chess with player transactions. According to .com and the official NHL log, he played 5 minutes and 28 seconds in the first period, which is fairly typical. 2:59 in the second, which is about half as what he normally does, and 2 shifts and just 1:28 in the third period. 9:55 total. He usually plays 17 or 18 minutes, and he did not play any shifts on the penalty kill in this game, which is a sure sign that probably something's up with an injury situation. Where am I going here? He did not hit the ice for the first 7 minutes and 18 seconds of the second. There's a big gap there. He did not hit the ice for about 11-minute span in the second period. And then he did not hit the ice in the last 15:57 of the third. So, we're willing to say Blake Coleman probably hurt. And given that Blake Coleman is what the folks call a gamer, it can't be he's probably, how banged up would Blake Coleman need to be for Blake Coleman to not play?
I mean, it's hard to say one way or the other, especially at this time of year. Guys are going to be more cautious heading towards the trade deadline, and teams are going to be more cautious with their guys.
Teams will be more cautious, but if you're a player, they tell me don't compete, I'll be like, screw you, I want to play. So
yeah,
I would say like asset management would be from the team, but if the player feels good enough to play, they're not going to make him not play.
Yeah, there's a certain line at a point where the team will, but I don't think that was necessarily what we saw tonight.
Do you want to hear a fun stat?
Let's hear it.
Well, it's not fun. It's interesting. I know it's fun. So through 22 road games, the Flames are dead last in goals for on the road with 48. Florida, the next lowest, has one more goal, and they played 6 fewer road games. And the Flames are second in most goals allowed on the road. They've allowed 78. Anaheim's allowed 85, but Anaheim scored 20 more goals on the road in the same number of games as the Flames had.
They're not very good on the road this year,
which is weird because like I just covered in person a lot of games in their homestand where they looked quite good. They were doing a lot of things. Like, I mean, they are kind of what they are this season. They are a team that has some deficiencies to them, but I don't think actually no, this hasn't updated. They've played 23 road games actually. And so this hasn't updated yet. So but heading into tonight, one of the worst offensive teams on the road and one of the worst defensive teams on the road. You got to fix one of those things to have a fighting chance at all. And I would argue if you look at sort of how they played defensively this game, I would say maybe focus on getting that goals against down because, sure, we can get into the Dustin Wolf of it later on after we finish the run through, but I would not put this on Dustin Wolf, but Dustin Wolf looked like a guy. He did not look like a bad goalie. He looked like a guy. He looked like a regular run of the mill league average goalie. And if Dustin Wolf is playing league average, they're not going to get what they want.
It sounds like Ryan Huska chatting after the game with the traveling contingent, saying that Coleman may have just been sore. Dealing with probably something from that little skirmish. The exact quote, he's probably just a little bit sore and not anything we wanted to push at that time. So, maybe a little posturing, maybe a little kernel of truth in there, but still not ideal when you're looking at
you're this time of year, you think he's going to come out and say like, well, guys, bad news. We had to send Blake Coleman to an old timey Civil War doctor here in Boston, and he sawed his arms and legs off.
Yeah, Blake Coleman's being inspected at MIT. Something's going on there.
He wasn't feeling too good, so we gave him a bucket of leeches. We're going to see how he feels after the leeches are over.
Yeah, we're implanting a microchip in Blake Coleman. Yeah,
no, it's Civil War doctors and leeches. That's
what
he gets.
Yeah, we're gonna put Blake Coleman into the meat grinder. I mean, I think a big thing. I had somebody chatting with me recently who was sort of saying with the Flames, I think a lot of their game they try to play as 50-50 a game as possible, where they just sort of minimize the amount that's going on to a certain degree. And I think you lose the advantage when you don't have the first change. Yeah. It's such a small thing, but when the margin is that thin, it can really change it a lot.
And especially we've discussed and will continue to discuss as long as there's a Michael Backlund, how important Backlund and Coleman have been, because pretty consistently this year, those two and whoever the third guy is in that line have been their best line. But I think a lot of it is you're putting out Backlund and Coleman at 5-on-5 out against the other team's best line if you can. On the road, like if I'm Boston, I'm keeping my big guns the hell away from Backlund as much as I can. And also I'd be sticking Mark Kastelic on the ice against him and just trying to rile him up and sort of get him off his game. And I think they did a good job of both of those things in this game. At home, with these same two teams a week ago, I thought the Flames did a great job of having Michael Backlund wear certain guys like a sweater. And shockingly, the Flames got a reasonably favorable result. So, it's I think you hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of this is, we talk about how thin the margins are for the Flames. If Wolf is very good as opposed to pretty good, that's the margin. If they have one or two guys that are feeling it offensively, that's the margin. If they have a power play that's not 32nd overall, that's a margin. And if, you get Backlund on against a good line or Backlund not on against a good line, that can be the difference in winning or losing. And, they're not, what now, 6 wins and 17 losses on the road.
It's real bad. It's real bad. Hey, speaking of Mason Lohrei, he did get his own 4th goal of the season in that second period. Kind of got a couple of Flames to bite in a big way here.
I will say this. A couple battles won by the Bruins along the boards, and then they just get everybody across, and before the next game being like, maybe less of this. Although also, like, in that case, Anderson did get sort of shoved over. Like, they're battling. It looks like he's trying to block because he fell over in front.
Yeah.
But, Klapka.
Oof.
Yeah, I get the instinct. But especially like that high up in the zone, you're basically just pulling yourself out of it and making it sort of an odd man situation down low.
It was not ideal. The Flames fell behind 3-0 at that point, and later on in period number 2, it was Casey Middlestat. All the Bruins under
a lot of guys going, is that supposed to be you?
Look at 11 there. Look at 11 there. How wide open is that? Like,
two guys covering nobody in the slot yet. But
Backlund's on the wall.
Nobody cheating down to, like, is he trying to guard against the pass to the point?
Like, Backlund is on the wall here. Like, ugh.
Yeah, like maybe he's just watching. I think it's Zadorov at the left point. Like, he's trying to make sure that, okay, because he makes a move with his stick, like he's trying to shut off that lane, which mission accomplished, but it also sort of leads a bunch of the rest of the ice open. Like, maybe Coleman needs to be down low a bit more. But yeah, this is like, all 4 goals that Boston got were sort of off kind of weird stuff that they were doing in their own end, where you can kind of understand the logic behind it, and you go, okay, like you don't want to open up to a point shot because you just got beat by like a slick point shot from the other guy a couple shifts ago. Okay, I get it, but every single one of them, you go, I see what you're trying to do, and I get it, but maybe go about it a little bit differently.
Well,
yeah.
Did you see that goal that Trevor Zegras scored the other night for Philly against Anaheim, where he scored it and then he had that celebration where he put the phone up to his ear and then he set it right back down? Well, I think Casey Middlestat in that situation had enough time not only to call Derek Newman, but also set up his own shop in the circle and build an entire house there before the time that anybody from the Calgary Flames came over to cover him and take away his shooting lane. It's a pretty rough one, but Derek Newman, we always try to make it a little bit of a smoother transition, and that time we didn't really make it work. So sorry, buddy. But if you go to the Derek Newman group at CIR Realty, if you're buying or selling, you can let Derek do the work for you. Email him at dnewman@cirrealty.ca or call 403-619-6661 or visit DerekNewmanGroup.com. With his trusted experience, many clients come back to work with Derek again and again, just like how the Bruins came back to score on Calgary again and again. So it really works that way. Derek, I'm sure, is not too happy that the Flames lost tonight, but he can rest assured that Casey Middlestat has more than enough time not only to buy a nice little Boston bungalow, but relocate it all the way into the Flames defensive zone with all the time he was given on that.
I think Boston's famous for its walk-ups, not its bungalows.
Yeah, whatever.
They don't have a lot of space in Boston.
Whatever.
It's on the harbor.
Go out to the burbs, get one of those Boston burbs suburb bungalows. Bingo. Yeah. Do we have any super chats, Jack?
But hey,
nothing.
Here's the thing you need to know about, though. 45 seconds after the 4th goal scored by the glorious Boston Bruins, the Flames scored a goal.
They did. Connor Zary is 7th of the season. This was probably the Flames' best line tonight. They had the best shot by Kevin Ball on goal, and that's his first point Pike in 9 games for Morgan Frost.
But he looked a lot more comfortable. He looked like he could create, and again, he gets a nice puck retrieval below the line, and it as much as we're going to rag on the Flames for their their defensive miscues in their own end this game, the Bruins just kind of left him. They're like, oh, guy in white, just take the shot, see if we care. And Connor Zary, if you let him get a shot away from 7 feet out, he's gonna do something with it. So hopefully it's a nice bit of confidence for him, because I think we always forget how progress isn't linear, and Zary is I don't think he's quite yet scratched the surface of what he can be. I think there's still a lot there. And you see games like this and you go, okay, yeah, I get it. I can understand why they'd be enthusiastic about him as a guy who can grow within the organization, because games like this, like there was nothing happened in this game, and he's like, all right, I'm just
found a way to score.
I'm just gonna score, guys. And Boston went, okay.
It's a nice play. It was a nice goal for that line. They did an okay job. I think they were the better of the new line that was created in tonight's game. That pretty much sealed the deal. Not a whole lot else happened in period number 3. Jonas Korpisalo was kind of on one for the Bruins tonight. He stopped 28 of 29 for the victory. Dustin Wolf allowed 4 on 30 in the loss. The Flames, as we mentioned, have lost 4 straight games, and that'll take us into the road ahead. Brought to you by the good folks over at Platinum Mitsubishi, 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast. It is the home of the all-new, well, not quite all-new, but the new 2026 Outlander mild hybrid Pike. The Outlander PHEV has been Canada's best-selling plug-in hybrid vehicle for many years.
What's a mild hybrid?
But a mild hybrid is new for Mitsubishi. It's not quite like a regular hybrid like you'd see with like a Toyota Prius. What it is a mild hybrid, which basically just sort of adds a little bit of battery power to give you extra torque off the line and make it a little bit easier to start the vehicle. So it assists with those 2 little things. You see it. We had, I drove a Mercedes last year. There was a Mercedes like C250 or something. And it was kind of cool because you would get down to about 10 kilometers an hour and the engine would actually shut off as you were decelerating. It would shut off in advance of the vehicle coming to a complete stop. And the new 2026 Outlander does that as well. It has the engine shut off and startup technology. It's pretty cool. And we unearthed this today. Here at we got the banner. We got the Platinum Mitsu banner. We can put it in front of my face so you can't even see me anymore. It's a better show now. So there we go. That's the road ahead. And we're just going to leave that right there. Perfect. The road ahead brought to you by Platinum Mitsubishi. And wouldn't you know it, Pike, the Flames, they're back in action on Saturday. And it is going to be a weird one because the start time is 1:30 p.m. in Pittsburgh.
That's right. Because I checked in on this. Pittsburgh has a Sunday afternoon game. And so I think league rules are you can't play back-to-back games too close together. So they're playing at 3:30 local time, 1:30 mountain time. Because I don't know.
Yeah,
because they have to accommodate them.
Well, what they're doing, Pike, is they're doing a 5 p.m. local time game on the Sunday, which is a 3 p.m. Calgary time game. They're doing that against the Boston Bruins. And
Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
They're kind of good.
They are kind of good. So that's the Flames' next game on Saturday, January the 10th against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins, a team that is 6-4 in their last 10. They're 20-12-9, so quite a bit better than the Calgary Flames.
And you know who just came back from injury?
Who just came back from injury?
Evgeny Malkin.
Evgeny Malkin.
Just activated from the IR this week, so he'll be wanting to reestablish a scoring touch against a team that, as we mentioned, has been fairly bad at preventing goals against on the road.
Well, then also, Pike, here's something. So on Sunday and Monday, the Calgary Flames do not play. They do not play on either of those dates.
That is true.
And we have chatted a little bit, both on and off mic, about the realities of how difficult it can be to make trades on the road. And
I was just saying, I feel bad for the equipment staff because when you're going on the road for the trade deadline, the equipment staff has to bring so much extra stuff, basically extra of everything, extra shells, extra jerseys, extra lettering kits, extra helmets, extra visors, extra everything, because you don't know. You might make no trades. You might make a bunch of trades, and you might have to gear up a bunch of guys who are brand new and need to have stuff. So you don't know what kind of stuff they're going to need. So you bring everything. It sounds very stressful, and I'm glad I'm not an equipment manager because they are the true heroes of the hockey industry. But
to add on to that, though, Sunday, Monday, no games. So if there was a time for the Calgary Flames to make a deal on this road trip, you'd think it might be then.
This is true. And they are going to be in Columbus on Tuesday. I believe they're flying to Columbus. I assume they're flying on Saturday. So they'll have a couple days in Columbus by the sounds of it before the game. Columbus, as we've learned, is close to. It's a very accessible city. It's in the middle of the continent. So if you need to get people there or get people to somewhere else from there, it's pretty accessible.
It seems to make a little bit of sense, doesn't it? Because the Flames, as you mentioned, they're in Columbus thereafter on the Tuesday. They play a 5 p.m. game against the Blue Jackets. And then they wrap up their road trip on the 15th of January in Chicago against the Hawks. So they wrap up the road trip with a couple of games against teams that are not so good. But of course, when you're the Flames, the teams that are ahead of you have to be, at least a little bit better, right? So that's the look at the last 3 games of this current road trip, after which the Flames will return home on January the 17th. They will take on the New York Islanders for another Saturday matinee game. That one is part of Hockey Day in Canada. That one's 1:00 p.m. at the Saddledome.
It's the first time in his illustrious National Hockey League career that Calder Trophy frontrunner Matthew Schaefer gets to visit the Saddledome, and he'll only at most he'll play 2 games in the palatial Scotiabank Saddledome, and I imagine it'll be something he remembers for the rest of his life, and also it'll be a big test for the Flames because the Islanders are really fun this year.
They are,
and Matthew Schaefer is an absolute beast, and there's no way he should be this good at 18.
And then on January the 19th, guess what, folks? I'm not doing the warmies and I'm not doing the afterburner because I'm going to my first game of the season. I have been to the Saddledome 0 times this season, and I'm going on January 19th to see the Calgary Flames play the New Jersey Devils.
Ooh. I wonder if it's Wolf versus Markstrom.
Might be.
We didn't get the Dan Vladar revenge game.
We didn't.
In either time Philadelphia played the Flames, I want Markstrom versus Wolf.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And maybe they can have a goalie fight. I don't know. Dustin seems like a nice boy. He probably wouldn't be engaged in goalie fight shenanigans.
My first game of the season.
Cooley would fight.
Cooley would fight. I don't think Dustin would fight.
They're both nice boys.
They are.
I imagine neither would fight, but I mean, if the crowd cheered them on, maybe.
There was a point in time not that long ago where Flames tickets were so plentiful on the secondary market that I was able to go to like 20 games a year for $5-10 a ticket. Like you could get like on various reselling websites for real cheap. And for whatever reason this year, Warmies, which is a show that I very much enjoy doing.
Well,
and
who's doing Warmies on the 19th?
I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out.
I'm not doing it.
No, you're not doing it.
I've been to the.
We'll chain Bobby Germany to a desk. He'll just do both shows.
Yeah. We'll just make you do it from the stands.
And we are not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm actually going with one of my buddies from Platinum Mitsubishi.
Where do you know where you're sitting at?
Yeah. So it's my buddy Kenton, and my buddy Kenton has good seats in the lower bowl. 109 maybe. Don't quote me on that.
Hold on, let me
don't want to dox Kenton's seat locations either. So, but a good fella. So yeah, it'll be fun. Finally get to go to a game this year.
That's good. Hey, I'll say this. As much as we rag on the Saddledome for
I
its
love
age,
the Saddledome.
The Saddledome has I love and hate the concourse because during intermissions, the concourse is horrible.
Yeah.
It's claustrophobic, and there's many things I dislike about it. And thank God they got rid of the damn Dodge Ram on the I get why they did it. And if you offered me money, I would say yes to that too. But Wolf,
not a Chrysler, not a Chrysler product.
I would say for my money, I don't think there's a better seat in the league than the 200 level of the Saddledome.
Oh, 100%.
Especially you sit and sort of up in the ends where you just sort of sit in the ends. You can see everything. You don't have to crane your neck. You're close to all the concession stuff. Like the mezzanine concession, I think is one of the more underrated things in the league. Because
yes,
they have the place with the beef ribs now and the rotisserie chicken place up at the end.
Right.
Yeah. Sneaky good place to watch a game.
Well, I should clarify. I went to 4 games in the preseason. Of all the times to go, I went to 4 preseason games, and I've been to 0 in the regular season.
Because we didn't start warmies until month in the season.
Yeah, we didn't start warmies until like November. So,
yeah. And you've been to Wranglers.
Nope. Been to 0 Wranglers games this year.
I could have sworn you put up a photo of you in the lower bowl of the Wranglers game.
Nope.
You kayfabe the photo? You just stole the photo and posted it like you were there?
I maybe. I don't even know where I posted it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I know I've been to 0 events at the Saddledome during the 25-26 regular season. Very excited to change that, so it should be a lot of fun.
Hey, we got a season and a half left.
I love the Dome.
60 odd games, and then she's coming down, and we're moving across the street.
Dome is the best rink in hockey. It's the best rink in the world, and I will be sad the day that it's gone.
I mean, it's the best rink in Calgary.
Everybody join my petition. We're going to make the Dome a National Historic Site. They'll never tear it down. Never.
They're moving. They're going to put a plaque in
Yeah.
a new building.
Yeah.
They're going to move the Yves Boulanger mask, which is an Atlanta mask,
Yep.
actually, to the new building. It's going to live in the new place.
Mhm.
And I think they're going to bring some of the historical stuff from the concourse. I don't know what yet across, and then the rest of it just going into a pit.
Don't like it. We're gonna save the Saddledome. # save the Saddledome. Pike, and I'm gonna ruin the Flames' plans. No, I think we should just make it into a big parkade. Anyway, that's the road ahead, brought to you by the good folks up at Platinum Mitsubishi. They are good folks. 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast. It's not Mitsubishi. It's not Mitsubishi. It's Mitsubishi. Platinum Mitsubishi. Yeah, that's the road ahead. Pike, I got some distressing news on the out-of-town scoreboard. The Winnipeg Jets, you blew it. They're down 4-3 to the Edmonton Oilers late in the third period. They stink. They're about to lose. In all likelihood, their 11th straight game.
Yeah, they're 0-6-4 in the last 10.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I was talking to my buddy Paul from Winnipeg the other day. He's a big Jets fan, and my exact phrase to him was, I don't understand how a team with a roster like that looks like that. And a team like they won the President's Trophy last year, and they just swapped out 2 guys or 3 guys, and they just ran back the same group, and they're dead last midway through the season.
Yeah.
How do you go first to worst? Is Nick Ehlers that important?
I think it's a combination of Ehlers being that good and Taves being completely washed at this point. I just
I guess. Swapping out Mason Appleton for Taves seems like it was not. I mean, Mason Appleton's really good. I mean, for what he is, Mason Appleton is the best Mason Appleton. And if you try to say, Jonathan Taves, can you be Mason Appleton? He would be like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Taves is done. The Jets are real bad. They are losing 4-3 to the Oilers. They only have 14 shots on goal. They are horrible. My buddy Brad Gossai is going to be upset about that. Hey, there you go. That's on the out of town. Also on the out of town tonight, Colorado up 3-1 over Ottawa. Don't know if my phone is going to make it through this show. Nashville and the Islanders are tied at 1. Vegas down 1-0 to Columbus. That's an interesting one in the out of town. Minnesota up 1-0 on Seattle. The Leafs beat the Flyers 2-1 in overtime off of a goal by Easton Cowan. Montreal tripled the Florida Panthers 6-2. The Detroit Red Wings off of Patrick Kane's 499th and 500th goals beat the Vancouver Canucks 5-1. The Buffalo Sabres stay hot. They beat the New York Rangers 5-2. I think they're going to make the playoffs. Pittsburgh beating the Devils 4-1, and the Hurricanes beating their Ducks 5-2. We mentioned this on the Warmies as well, Pike. There's some big NCAA games tomorrow. Cullen Potter and ASU, I believe, are taking on Ohio. I think it is North Dakota taking on UMass. Yeah, it's BU that's taking on UMass. And I mentioned BU because Tynan Lawrence, the former Muskegon Lumberjack, will make his NCAA debut.
A likely top 5 pick in June's entry draft.
That's right. And of course, Cole Reshney also back in action tomorrow with North Dakota.
Yeah, it should be a good. There's a bunch of interesting games. It sounds more likely than not. I imagine we see Cole Reshney back for Nodak against Colorado College.
In all likelihood,
he's he had some time to hoot and holler, and now it's back to work. Especially it's a short season. You don't miss too many games. There's gonna be a few good games. I'm Quinnipiac with Ethan Wittenbach, the currently tied for 8th nationally in NCAA scoring. They're at home. They're facing Union. Harvard are playing Dartmouth. Those stuffed shirts at Dartmouth.
Tucker McRae's team.
And then it should be. There's a bunch of good games, and Penn State versus Minnesota, and that'll be. They're playing in Penn State. The weird thing is, I don't think that. I think McKenna's played all the games he's going to play in Minnesota this year. I think the way the schedule works is like Reshney's team, like North Dakota, they're in the same conference. They don't play in Minnesota this year.
Yeah,
which is I thought the NHL schedule was odd, but I don't know. NCAA, do what you need to do. I think I'm fascinated to see what the next few months are going to go. This is the first year for the NCAA. They moved from the pairwise method of filling out the national championship tournament to the National Collegiate Percentage Index, which is an even nerdier thing. It's pure math, and I don't understand it at all, and I'm never going to understand it, but it's how they're figuring things out now. North Dakota is, according to this, the second best team in the country, barely behind Michigan, despite the fact that Michigan is a wagon. So Michigan a wagon even without Henry Muse. It's weird. It's gonna be a good next few months. So cheap plug on the site during the All-Star break, Olympic break, whatever the hell we're calling it. During the 3 weeks in February where we still have to work but don't have games to cover. We're gonna be looking into potential NCAA free agency targets for the Flames because there's a lot of really good players playing in college this year.
Also on the out-of-town scoreboard, Carter Hart was pulled after allowing 1 goal on 1 shot against the Blue Jackets tonight. We're not sure what that's about, but
just wasn't feeling it.
Anyway, speaking of the Winnipeg Jets, let's talk about our Bet365 bet of the day for tomorrow. As the Winnipeg Jets, they will likely be losers of 11 straight heading into this game against the Los Angeles Kings. Again, a back-to-back for the Jets. They're losing tonight. They're being outshot 30-15 by the Oilers. An Evan Bouchard power play goal has Edmonton up 4-3. I stupidly did the decimal points for my bets, but in any event, the Winnipeg Jets are not the favorites in this game at 2.05 Pike. And the LA Kings at 1.80 are the favorites. So there you go.
Well, it's a back-to-back with no travel, but it's Edmonton, LA. And I don't like that as a back-to-back, especially when you're playing the way the Jets have been playing, where you're just looking for rakes to step on these days. Ooh, well, that could be a long night. On the other hand, that could be a fun jersey matchup.
Like here's the crazy thing with the Jets. Okay. They outshot the Oilers 11-7 in the first period. Okay. And since then, they've been outshot 23-5. Like they're just playing terribly. I don't get it. It looks like they have Taves out for the 6-on-5. It's just bad stuff all around for the Winnipeg Jets tonight. And I would say it will probably be bad for them again tomorrow night. You know what? Not a team that I would object to getting a first overall pick. They have not had one in their second iteration in the NHL. I don't even know if they've picked. I think the
Dale Haverstock might have been the last one.
Yeah, but I think like the Jets 2.0. I think the highest they've picked is, I want to say, 2. They've picked second. They picked Line. But after that, I don't think they've really made many high picks at all. They picked Scheifele at 7, I think.
Yeah, like Jets 1.0, they had Haverstock, and that's it. That's their only first overall pick.
I think they had Scheifele at 7. I think they had Ehlers maybe at 7 or 8. And beyond that, not a whole lot springing to mind. They have not made many first-round picks lately, or at least not many high first-round picks lately. So, yeah, I mean, certainly would not object to it anymore. Like,
yeah, the last first, if we're counting Atlanta, they haven't had the first overall pick since 2001.
Kovalchuk.
We don't talk about Patrick Stefan in polite company because mistakes were made.
Well, Stefan was 1999. Kovalchuk was 01, wasn't he?
Yeah. The Long Beach Ice Dogs.
Stefan was 99 because the Sedins went right after him.
Line's second overall is not a bad pick. That's a pretty good one.
Not bad, not great, but not bad. He started out really great.
Yeah, just under point. You got banged up, then things went sour. But Cole Perfetti's turned into a decent young player. He's still I don't think he's quite what they wanted.
Coronado-ish to a degree.
Yeah. I don't mind him, but Perfetti, he was drafted 6 years ago. He's not a young guy anymore.
No,
although another guy from the second.
Perfetti was the year before Coronado.
Yeah,
so Perfetti was 2020.
He was a sorry year.
Yes, that's right.
What a weird draft.
Yeah, very much so. I think the draft is the event that I'm looking forward to most at this point. I think most Flames fans are. The rumors coming out today are that the decentralized draft upcoming might be held in Buffalo, New York, which would be kind of interesting. It would be funny if they held it in Buffalo the year that they break their playoff drought.
That would be kind of fun.
That would be kind of funny.
Honestly, I'm a sucker for tradition. I like Buffalo. 2 of the 3 jerseys are very nice. Rhett Warner's a very nice man. I've met various other alumni from that organization, and they're all very, very, very gregarious fellows. That'd be fun. It'd be nice for them to make it, especially like that fan base has been through so much. Like they're lovable losers, and it'd be nice if they can just be lovable and no longer be losers.
Here's my question though. When is there going to be an actual hockey event in Calgary again? I mean, presumably when the new rink opens, but you look at it, there has not been any event really of any sort in Calgary since 2012 when they had the World Juniors here.
Yeah.
Of course, the Heritage Classic was the year before, in 2011.
Yeah.
They have not held a draft.
So you're saying that since the Saddledome flooded to the 11th row, they haven't held an event?
That's right.
That's a factual statement.
Yeah.
Although the CHL did hold a very successful USA CHL Prospect Challenge.
Yeah,
I got the acronyms wrong. Sorry,
the TELUS Cup was held in Okotoks. Like, okay, but like, there's a certain.
You mean like a major NHL event?
I'm talking I'm talking about something big.
I mean, they bid
big,
on the World Cup.
Big.
It'd be if it were me, I would think Calgary should get the World Cup in either 28 or 32.
Yeah.
When they did the Canada Cup here in 80, they did the Canada Cup the second year the Saddledome was open, and it allowed them to sort of work out some of the kinks for the Olympics. I think that was kind of the idea. They're like, let's just hold a big event here and try to see what the limitations of this building are.
Flames
worked out pretty nicely.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want a decentralized draft here, because what would the point be?
Flames have not hosted the NHL draft in 26 years.
Would you want to do an all-star game in the northern part of the northern hemisphere in January or February?
Flames have not hosted the all-star game in 41 years.
85.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could maybe do the all-star team if the team is really good, or the all-star game if the team is really good and you just have 5 guys from the team playing there and everybody gets to stay at the JW and not even go outside.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I think if it was up to me, I think especially the green line will be done in 2030. I'd say by 2032, I'd be aggressively, trying to get stuff, because once Stampede Park, once all the stuff is built, I don't want to bring anyone here while it's a construction site. So if you bring them the first year, the Saddledome is still going to be there. They're going to be working on the demo in the spring, after the winter's over. So you don't want them just sort of seeing the husk of the Saddledome just sort of lingering in the winter. You want to sort of have something to do with it. So
right.
I would do it, I'd say 2030, maybe 2029, 2030, ask for an all-star game and I don't know, lean into it, do all kinds of fun, outdoor
Calgary
activities.
stuff.
You can do some they have that area in front of the BMO Center with they call the canopy with they have you can do outdoor rink there. You have some fire pits and stuff. Have some stuff. Maybe if you want to do something gimmicky with the skills competition, you can set something up there with guys doing puck handling or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
There's a lot of things, and you might have noticed that the folks at Stampede Park were doing a lot of sort of events during the 2 weeks before Christmas, because I think they were trying to be okay, let's try some outdoor events, see how people like it, and it turned out okay. The weather didn't cooperate at all, because Calgary in December, of course not. But I think they're going to keep trying some stuff like that, because I think they have a lot of cool ideas that they want to try out before big events. You try small things and then you go, that worked really well, let's do that. So.
Well, if they can have outdoor games in Miami and Salt Lake City, I think they can have one in Calgary.
There's a roof in Miami. That's not an outdoor game. That one year they did a Heritage Classic in a dome in Vancouver.
I thought they opened the roof though.
I think they opened it briefly. So
I would love.
You can see the sky.
You know what I think would be a great idea for a game, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, even though it would technically be the same problem as Vancouver. I don't think you have to necessarily ascribe to the outdoorsiness of it. You can just have it in a cool, different venue. And that is why I think there should be a game at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal.
With the roof that is barely standing?
Well, it's not that it's barely standing.
They just paid it off, so they got to do something with it.
I would put a game in the Olympic Stadium. It doesn't have to be an outdoor game. It can just be look, we're in Olympic Stadium and there's a hockey game being played.
Honestly, if you're going to do one of those, I think it'd be kind of fun just to say screw it and do an outdoor game in Europe.
Yeah, well, yeah.
If you're going to go completely crazy,
go to Wembley.
Yeah. That'd be kind of fun. I don't
know if the NHL has that kind of money.
I don't think we're far off from those kind of events, because they just opened an NHL just opened an office in Europe.
Yeah.
And they want to have more of a collaborative relationship with a lot of the European leagues. So do an outdoor game in Finland, do an outdoor game in Sweden, I think you take teams that could use some more exposure, that have European players, You announce them a couple years in advance, and then you say, like, I'd say for Flames fans, like they announce something like 2-3 years in advance. Hey, Flames have a long tradition in Sweden, so we're going to do an outdoor game in Stockholm, or we're going to do a week of games in Stockholm.
Yeah,
do it in 2 years. You get a ton of fans traveling.
I suppose
that'd be really fun. That's my biggest irritation with how they do international events. They don't announce them early enough to give them enough time for fans to figure out how they want to get there.
Remember when the Coyotes played in Australia?
Yes, against LA.
Yeah, and then they stopped existing 9 months later.
Yeah, and LA went to the playoffs and lost to Edmonton in brutal fashion again.
Yeah, that was
who had it worse.
Yeah, who had it worse? I like how the chat is just not even talking. They're just talking to Jack about the Steelers or whatever. Who cares?
How are the Steelers doing? I heard they made the playoffs and they're amongst the teams that could play in the Super Bowl this year.
Jack, has Aaron Rodgers gotten his immunizations yet?
No.
Oh no,
Jack. If the Pittsburgh Steelers qualify for the big game, I'll buy a Steelers jersey.
Really?
Wow.
I can just give you one.
No, they have.
What
to,
if I just give you one now?
They have to earn it.
Jack's trying to find a way to get rid of his Antonio Brown jersey.
They have to earn it.
They have to earn it. Okay, deal. I'm going to clip this just in case.
Do you have an Antonio Brown jersey, Jack?
I actually had one, and I did.
Of course you did.
And
as soon as all that shit went down, I gave it away.
I'm specifically using names we're allowed to clip, and we won't get sued over. So you're welcome.
I did something similar with the jersey of a former Calgary Flames player, and that's just where we'll leave it at. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Jack. Hey, I hope the Steelers win. I like me some good football. The team that I'm looking forward to watching is the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence.
The Bills.
Yeah, Buffalo. I think they're gonna win that game.
They've been really good. That's
Mike's lock of the week.
See, if we're gonna do this, we need to get a big lock. Like this size thing.
Ooh, that's a big lock. I just don't know if I can trust that guy. Yeah, that's from The Simpsons. Come on, he's
got a giant lock.
He's got a giant lock. Yeah, shoe in of the week. All right,
with a giant shoe.
That's right.
Damn, we should get Rhett to do some of these.
Yeah, that's my Platinum Mitsubishi of the week. There we go.
Is there a more iconic duo than 3-time Stanley Cup finalist Rhett Warner and giant hilarious props?
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy without props. Just imagine him with props.
True. Yeah, get him the Carrot Top bundle and just get him rifling through those props all through the night.
Giant sunglasses.
I think Jack and Rhett should take their prop comedy show to the Unicorn. I think it would be a great spot for them to sort of to test the waters, see what they can get away with. I think the Unicorn would love to have them. They, especially with 3 floors and 3 bars, their 223 8th Avenue Southwest location. They can just sort of say, okay, all the normal folks, you can stay on the bottom 2 levels. And we got the Jack and Rhett show up top. They're going to be, throwing knives at each other or whatnot. It'll be a great idea. We're going to get that pitched over right away. And that'll probably be during the next Pittsburgh Steelers playoff game. So head on over there and don't be disappointed if Jack and Rhett aren't actually there, because they actually have better stuff going on, like things like Golden Tea and Buck Hunter and pinball and darts. Jack might actually be there. I mean, it wouldn't put him past him to sort of spend an NFL Sunday that sort of way. It is this Sunday, right, Jack?
Monday. Steelers play Monday, but there's games all weekend. There's
that's right.
3 on Sunday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 Monday.
In case you couldn't tell, I really don't care about the football, but I don't want to go all sports ball about it, but it's not really my thing. Correct
me if I'm wrong, Jack. They reseed after every round.
Yes, they do. There's no bracket. It's a full reseeding.
Full reseed.
Even the NFL website has the word bracket on it, and then it's just empty because they have to reseed, so they don't want to get my hopes up. So like the part of me that loves logistics and organization, look at this being like, holy cow, Seattle made it to Seattle's first place. How?
I'm just
confused.
I have no context for any of this.
I pay no attention to any league outside of the Russian Supreme Hockey League until we hit the first round of the playoffs, and I get emotionally invested. I just saw that the Jacksonville Jaguars were in the playoffs, and I said, "Oh, there we go. That's my team this year." So that's all I got going for me. I'm just hoping against hope for a Pittsburgh Buffalo NFC championship, so that Jack and Rhett are emotionally conflicted the whole time.
Well, go watch all those games down there at the Unicorn, either on 8th Ave or 4th Street. They're Calgary Super Pub. They got game day, $7 pints and Molson Canadian on Flames game days. And I'm sure they've got great specials as well all weekend long with all the football action coming your way. So head on over. They're good folks at a good spot.
They-
That's the Unicorn.
Very good nachos. So
Very good nachos.
Is there more, as much as Rhett and Giant Hilarious Props would be an iconic duo? I think an existing iconic duo that you can experience whenever you want is playoff football and a giant mess of nachos from the Unicorn.
That's a good idea. Hey, we got a couple super chats earlier on in this show, Jack. Super chats brought to you by the Youth Centers of Calgary, a place where kids can go and feel warm and welcome and what have you, a number of other adjectives as well. And the first one coming from Real Rampant Lion, a healthy $6.99. Predictions, boys. Anderson gets traded with an extension. Yay or nay? Pike, will go to you first.
I think he gets traded. I don't know if they get an extension out of it.
I am inclined to agree with you. I think it'll be sort of similar to the Noah Hannafin situation where they don't get an extension right away, and then 2 weeks later, it's.
Although, if you've been paying attention to 32 Thoughts from Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman, he did mention the idea of, the Flames have learned from the Hannafin situation, and so I think they're planning on handling things a little bit differently, or are actively handling things a little bit differently. So I don't know, but I just think. I just think he's going to go to market.
You do, hey?
Yeah.
Yep. That's. I'm not. I don't disagree with you. I could see it going either way. I think it'll happen pretty quick here, and if it doesn't happen pretty quick here, then rats. I think we got another one. A couple more. There we go. Yeah. That's. Yeah. Thanks, Nathan. $5. I never happen. You never happen. Nothing happens. You're bad. I'm bad. Everybody chill. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not 40, but you get the reference.
You gotta turn 40 to be able to say that.
Come after me, Jack. You know that, right?
No, I don't.
You don't know the "I'm a man, I'm 40" video?
No.
Come on, go watch it after the show. Go watch it. I'm a man. I'm 40. Oh, it's up there with Allen Iverson saying the practice all over and over again. It's an all-time sound. Come on. Oh, that's so good. Pike's a man. He's almost 40.
I am 40. I'm older than all the players I cover currently.
There we go. See? So perfect.
I go to the rink and I have white hairs in my beard.
Yeah, that's right. All right, everyone. Chill. All right. Any more super chats, Jack?
Yeah,
One more? Oh, hello. Spicy. Uyghur now -21. Future captain, really, Pike?
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave it at that. 279 to the Youth Centers of Calgary. Appreciate you helping them keep their kids warm and fed and whatnot. Any more there, Jack?
that is it, boys.
That is it. Wow. A real collection of super chats tonight. I can't even look at the chat. My phone just shut off on me. Thank God I got through all
Because
that.
you had the vibration thing on. So
I know.
I'm like, oh, that's gonna kill your battery, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Or just like weird notifications that you probably don't care about. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, the
Yeah.
athletic website sent you an email that they published a new article that you might want to read.
Oh, we got another one. Mr. Public Pain 279. I was a producer for 25 years. I'm real public. I don't know what that means. I don't care about any of the stupid drama going on in the chat with the fake people.
You're missing out, man.
Fake Mr. Public Pain, real Mr. Public Pain. I don't care.
Of all the drama in the world, this is the drama I'm emotionally invested in right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Some of us are invested in whatever the heck's going on with the Ottawa Senators. Some of us are invested. We're not going to get into that. Some of us are invested in whatever's going on with heated rivalry. And some of us.
Have you watched it?
I haven't. I want to.
My wife wants to watch it. And she's like, everyone's talking about this. We got to watch it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So honestly, I might not see a single moment of heated rivalry until the Olympics, and then because it's because we have a gap in the Flames finish up on the 4th. Women's hockey their tournament doesn't start till the 6th, so I got 2 days that I need to fill up with some sort of content. You
know what? You just gave me a really good idea. I'm going to Toronto at the beginning of February, and I'm staying with a couple friends of mine, and we might watch it. I think I'm going to, if they haven't, the thing is, they're the type of folks who probably, if they haven't seen it, will see it between now and February when I go.
Jack, have you seen this yet?
Have you seen Heated Rivalry, Jack?
No, I haven't. I've heard lots about it. I don't.
Do you think any of the guys in the main show have watched it?
No.
If not, watch along.
Yeah, I know. Rhett and Jay Rosehill were talking about it at the Christmas show. That was a little bit it was a little bit yikes type stuff. But Yeah, no, it's I've heard it's good, so I don't know. I'm glad that hockey's getting some eyeballs on it, and that's all I got to say about that. Heated rivalry streaming on Crave TV.
Yeah,
Not a sponsor.
I think it's just any attention is good attention.
Give me a call though. We'll work something out.
And anyone that wants to put a car in the middle of the studio. Are you guys gonna step up and throw a car in the studio?
Car in the studio. We got
do you have like scale models or something we can do?
Well, I had one here and I don't know where it went. I was actually looking around the studio. We had a scale 25 Outlander last year and it's disappeared. So it's no good. Very bad.
We got room to maneuver.
Yeah, I think Rhett probably just ate it or something. If he's got a big old gullet in there.
If it's on Mondays, he didn't eat it.
True.
Doesn't eat Mondays.
Doesn't eat Mondays. It's true. I don't watch our shows, so I didn't understand the reference, but I'll take your word for it.
I watch our shows when the lawyers text me and say, "Have you seen this?" And I go, "Oh no, and then I had to watch it. So.
Yeah,
but and it's on the background.
Yeah, the headline: Dean Boomer Molberg eviscerates the Flames. Watch now. It's my impression of Jack titling these shows. RB with a question.
He put in a super chat last night and we missed it. So this
unbelievable. RB saying trade Uyghur before the Islanders game. Fire Maloney and Misha McKenna. I don't think they're going to trade Uyghur. I wouldn't be opposed to it if the right deal came along.
That's such a even with him on the struggle bus this year, like for the minutes he's able to give you, like 6 and change is a hell of a deal.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like maybe the right time to do it. I think you know if you have a couple more guys who step up. If you get a guy in the Rasmus deal who, fills a big void.
I'll tell you, when you want the time to trade a player is when they're minus whatever.
Yeah.
That's the same reason why I think they were hesitant to trade
Rasmus last year.
Yeah. It's like, if you're contending for that green jacket, I don't think that you're not going to get the value you want. And talking to folks around the organization, they're not against doing things, but they want to get value.
Yeah.
And I think they know which assets have value, which assets will have value later on.
All right. That's good stuff. That's good insight. Jack, what else is happening in the comments? Anything too crazy or is
just the same shit every night.
Same boring stuff that I ignore?
Just ignore
That's good. That's good. That's what I like to hear. I'm not missing out. Okay. All right. Well, to all of you in the chat, we appreciate everything. There's some real good folks down there, and I'm really just playing with you. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, for following along with us. The tongue affliction is back.
Have you had too much water?
I don't know. I might not have had enough.
Stop using water.
For following along with us on tonight's show. We appreciate every one of you in the chat, providing your insight and all your takes and all your differences of opinions and whatever. Thank you all for tuning in on this Thursday evening. My name is Mike Gould. That to my left is Ryan Pike. The disembodied voice in the air coming over the loudspeakers is producer Jack from an undisclosed secret location. To all of our friends at Bet365 and the Youth Centers of Calgary and at Platinum Mitsubishi and the Derek Newman Group and at the Unicorn. I don't think I'm missing anybody. Am I, Jack? I think I got them all. Yeah, right off the dome. How about that? Once again, the Calgary Flames fall to the Boston Bruins 4-1 on this Thursday evening. They'll be back at it on Saturday afternoon to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then they'll have 2 days off, and who knows what'll happen then. But for now, they fall to 1-1 this season against the Bequist Bruins. So long, and thank you all for tuning in to Afterburner.